Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the latest edition of Terrace Talk. Of course, it's been a positive few weeks for Norwich City, a positive few weeks as well for the opposition we're facing on Saturday. QPR, of course, a trip to Loftus Road, and with that, delighted to be joined by Duncan from the W12 Podcast. Duncan, unbeaten in your last 3 games, 7 points, victories away at Blackburn, a victory against bitter rivals Millwall, a draw as well in late fashion against Huddersfield. How good's the last few weeks been to be a QPR fan?
It's been really good with the results. Some of the performances might not have added up with the points we've secured, but no, we're glad to get the points on the board, and we're trying to claw our way out of that relegation zone. We're trying to keep up with everybody, so fingers crossed we can pick up 3 more points at the weekend.
Yeah, of course, we'll be looking to try and stop that good run. 3 points off Huddersfield at the moment in 21st. You're closing the gap as well on sort of the sides above that. I think up to Millwall in 16th, you're only 5 points off. Do you think you've got what it takes to survive this season? I think probably given the start to the campaign, it probably feels quite good to be sort of within sight of those teams now.
Yeah, I mean, if you asked me the question at the start of January, where I thought we had no chance of getting anybody in the door, I would have said no. I really wasn't looking optimistic at all. The fact we've got some bodies through the door, I now feel that our chances of catching the rest of the group, there's more of a chance. I'm still not 100% confident we'll do it, but I feel like we've given ourselves the best chance we can.
Yeah, of course, you sacked Gareth Ainsworth sort of late in October, replaced him with Marty Sendes. Yeah, I mean, given you were 6 points off safety when you sacked Ainsworth, how do you rate the job that Marty Sendes has done? It feels like from sort of the gauge of social media I've picked up that he's a pretty well-loved man at Loftus Road.
Yeah, the fans have completely and utterly taken to him instantly, really. Like, he's got us playing a good style of football. As much as we're still in the relegation zone, like, if you look at the actual form table since he took over, we're about 13th. So it shows we're making steps in the right direction. It's the work we've got to do that was already done at the start of the season. We just still can't catch up and make up those points. But yeah, the fans love him. He's got his own song. Yeah, in Marty we trust.
Yeah, you mentioned his playing style there. What sort of playing style would you say he's brought to QPR? Is it sort of a set formation he maybe plays, or is it quite adaptive, maybe based on the opposition?
It's kind of, the formation seems to be like a set kind of 4-3-3 or a 4-2-3-1 on different variation of it. But it's adaptive. Like, he's not afraid to make changes. Like a game against Preston away, where Illis Chair started on the bench, half time came on and made a massive impact in the second half. Like, it's those kind of decisions where under Ainsworth, it was almost like we waited till like the 65th, 70th minute and then made a change, even if the game was well and truly gone. Whereas Marty he is adaptable. Like, if he sees something in game, he's more than happy to tweak it. And that's what we've been missing. A real kind of on the sideline coach, manager who reads the game really well.
Yeah, you mentioned a relatively busy January, a couple of permanent signings in the form of Michael Frey and Lucas Anderson, loan deals as well for Joe Hodge from Wolves, and Isaac Hayden, well known by Norwich City fans for a loan spell last season that maybe didn't go quite so well. How did you say the Loftus Road fan base have taken to those signings? Are you happy, or obviously limited opportunity to see them yet because the window's only just shut?
No, we're happy. I mean, Hodge came in within 7 minutes, got a goal on his debut for us, so instant impact, exactly what we kind of needed. It'll be interesting to see how they do having a week's full training and obviously getting their fitness back up. Obviously with Frey, he's not really played much this season, so not been able to see what he's going to be about. I think his fitness is going to be a few weeks away before he's fully match fit. Hayden, again, it's an experienced body in the middle of the park we needed. Obviously I know he didn't pull up any trees last season with yourselves, but I'm hoping he can do a job for us in the absence that now we've let Andre Dazelle go.
Yeah, of course, key man so far this season. Who would you say is probably starred in this QPR side? I think you kind of look down on paper. It always feels like Illis Chair is a highly rated player in the Championship. I know he's been linked today with sort of rumours move to Turkey. Maybe do you see that happening? And maybe key man so far this season.
He's definitely one of our key men. He's struggled for form this season, to be fair to him. He's not had his best season. But again, I feel like under Ainsworth, it was never going to be the kind of system to get the best out of Illis. He's definitely done better since Marty's been in. Yeah, there's been the rumour with Trabzonspor had a bid rejected. As far as I'm aware from what the club is saying, there's no, it's not going to happen now. We can't get a replacement in, and he's too vital a player to lose without getting that replacement. In the summer, then things could happen. But yeah, he's definitely one of our danger men. I think you've also got to keep an eye out for Sinclair Armstrong. He's a real handful, and he's definitely will get fans off their seats.
Yeah, a few links between the two sides. Of course, there's a former QPR loanee in the form of Sam Mcallum at left back, 19 games for Queen's Park Rangers, 2 goals. How did you rate his spell at Loftus Road? I mean, he's kind of now starting to push his way a little bit into the Norwich City side. I know he sort of had a fairly decent spell, I'd say, in London.
No, yeah, I really rated him. I was hoping that you guys wouldn't want him back and we could get him maybe on the cheap. But no, I rated him as a player, and yeah, he was solid enough for us. So yeah, good player.
Yeah, have you seen much of Norwich this season? I know we've played each other twice already. If you include the League Cup fixture, 1-0 victories for Norwich on both occasions. So, you know, being a Championship supporter, have you seen much of Norwich on the TV? And what have you made of the campaign that's folded at Carrow Road?
I mean, it's always one of those ones with Norwich where kind of you have the tag of a yo-yo team. Like, you always expect them to be up there and around there, like the playoffs, and hard. You know they're going to be a hard team to beat. And I think you've had a good run of form recently, but obviously you don't think you started the season as well as that. But yeah, I kind of keep an eye on as many teams as I can. It's difficult. It is difficult. But yeah, obviously I like that. Rowe looks a real good player for yourselves. Obviously you've got Ida as well, Sargent. They're obviously proven at this level, going to get goals at this level. So yeah, worried about that.
Yeah, there's a few threats down the middle. I'd say, yeah, certainly the attacking four will cause you issues. As I mentioned, 2 games already this season, a lot earlier on in the campaign. Given QPR's kind of upturn in form and Norwich's, I suppose, more relative upturn in form, are you expecting a different game on Saturday, maybe to the 2 we've already seen so far this season?
I was looking back at the form guide between us recently. Obviously, we haven't won any in the last 5. We haven't won very many against you, to be honest, in general. Obviously, you've had a couple of draws, but obviously both your wins have been by one goal. So I think it could be the same again. I think it's going to be a very close game. Like you said, both teams are picking up form. I don't know whether playing at home will suit you guys. Up for you guys being away, we struggle at home. So I feel like you've got the advantage slightly, which is bizarre to say as a home team. You should normally have the advantage, but we struggle at Loftus Road.
Yeah, you mentioned there that the struggles at Loftus Road. I was going to bring that up. Is there a reason, would you say, for that? Is it maybe just sort of the atmosphere? Is it different to sort of going away from home? Maybe there's less pressure?
Yeah, I know. It's really bizarre because even though we've been struggling, like our home attendance has been like near enough sellout week in, week out for the home games. So that was bizarre because the fans are there. The fans are all like back in the team. There's not been kind of any like disgruntlement from the fan base at the team during games. So it's bizarre that they're struggling at home. But yeah, maybe obviously maybe the counter-attacking away from home suits the players we've got maybe a bit more. Could be the only kind of answer I've got for you.
Yeah, I think there's been a few sort of debates, I think, as well around your defence. I was listening to a little bit of your podcast actually earlier on today, and you spoke kind of about Sinclair Armstrong. If he's facing someone like Steve Cook, you'd maybe be concerned. Given we've, of course, got players like Josh Sargent, where would you say the weaknesses are in the QPR side? Is it in the central defensive areas or midfield? Whereabouts should we be looking at?
Before we'd got Reggie Cannon in and fit, I would have said right back. We were struggling with right back. Obviously, I know Rowe plays off the left for yourselves. And I said when I came on last time that he was worrying me with Aussie KK. But Reggie Cannon seems to be a decent player at this level. He's fit, getting his fitness up. And actually, we often say on our own podcast, defensively, our back 4 and with Begovic as a 5 is quite solid for this level. But we're surprised that we've leaked so many goals at the start of the season. But since Marty's come in, like our defensive record, I think we're like up in like the top 5 for least goals conceded. So we're definitely getting that defensive structure better. Obviously, we're still susceptible from set pieces. So you've got a good dead ball better player. That's it. We'll be in trouble.
And finally, to round off the show, going to get your thoughts and feelings and a score prediction for the game. I think it's 1 defeat in the last 11 for Norwich against QPR, no defeat in the last 8. So it's been a pretty happy, hunting ground or happy place to go for Norwich. How do you see this one unfolding on Saturday?
Like I said earlier, I feel like it's going to be close. I do think with both teams kind of on form, I'm going to go 1-1. I feel like it's going to be a draw. I don't think there's going to be too much to separate us coming the weekend.
Yeah, I think it's all set up to be a good game, but yeah, I'd agree with you. It should be a close encounter, two sides that will be desperate for points for different reasons. And finally, Duncan, do you just want to plug your podcast and where QPR and Norwich fans can find your content?
Yeah, so obviously with the W12 podcast, if you want to listen to us, we're on all kind of the streaming services, so you can find us on pretty much any of those. And obviously the Twitter handle is at W12 Podcast if you want to give us a follow.
There we go. We'll link it all down below. Go and check those guys out. Duncan, do really appreciate your time this afternoon. Of course, lots of great content coming your way across our channels ahead of this one. We'll be speaking to David Wagner tomorrow afternoon. Lots of updates on the team news heading down to Loftus Road. Hopefully, Johnny Rowe will be back available. That would be, of course, a handy bit of ammunition to put on the pitch at Loftus Road. Yeah, lots of other great stuff. We spoke to Ben Napper, the sporting director, this morning. That's now live on our YouTube channel. So lots of good stuff coming your way. And, of course, we'll be at Loftus Road on Saturday for this big 3 p.m. kickoff. And, yeah, fingers crossed for Norwich City's sake. They can continue the momentum. And, for the QPR end, they'll be looking for a big 3 points in their own battle. So thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next week.